Welcome back to the first edition of the Creative Art Alliance Digital Creative Days 2021, organized by the Creative Art Alliance, being Hahnemühle, Schmincke and Da Vinci. So we're here in our nature set for the second session, and yet again I want to confirm it's all COVID conform. It's very exciting to be here because Hahnemühle is actually launching a new line during this crisis online right here, right now, today. So I'm really excited about this. But therefore, let me introduce the specialists regarding these new products. We have here with us Rana, the product manager of the new products, and Anne-Christine, marketing director of Hahnemühle. Also, a special guest is waiting. You have perhaps also seen him on the side. He's working away, but I'm going to introduce him later. So, would I like to start with Rana? I think so. We're going to go over here. And hey, Rana, good to have you here. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, my name is Rana. I'm the product manager of the Hahnemühle FineArt for the traditional fine art papers, and I'm really happy and very excited to be here today to present to you these beautiful new ranges.
Fantastic. Anne-Christine, it's good to have you here with us. Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Hi, thank you very much for having us. My name is Anne-Christine. I'm working with Hahnemühle, and I'm so extra excited to have the possibility now to present with Rana our new and latest product additions to the new ranges. As the show Creative World is not happening as we used to know it, this is just a wonderful experience for us, and I hope you guys out there have fun with us, and I'm so excited that Rana can tell us a little bit more about the products later.
Yeah, so I'm excited, they're excited, Hahnemühle is excited. They are launching a whole new product line, which is just fantastic because, you know, everyone's in this crisis altogether. Nevertheless, they're thriving and actually launching a whole product line online here today, so it's very exciting. Do stay tuned. So you have heard that we're launching something today, and as the Creative World exhibition is not taking place, you're going to launch it right here, right now, virtually. What actually is it, Rana?
Well, we are here today to present to you a beautiful new range. It's the Natural line. The Natural line is a range of artist papers that we have developed with extraordinary, very exceptional, and most of all, sustainable raw materials. And one of the raw material that we have chosen for this natural line is agave. Agave is a plant which was already used by the Aztecs and the Mayans many years ago to do fabrics, textiles, ropes, yarns, and carpets because the agave fibers are very strong and very tough, and you can do a lot with it. From this Mexican area, it went over to Africa, where it was also called the blonde gold of Africa, because there as well people were able to do a lot with it, because this special plant is very undemanding. It is resource saving, it is fast growing, and it doesn't need any pesticides. And it needs much less water than compared to other plants. And when we did our research and our development on this fiber, we found out that combined with cotton fiber, this really is a beautiful watercolor paper that we can make out of it. So we have combined the agave fiber and the cotton rag fiber on the one hand, and on the other hand we combined that both, and we have created a beautiful watercolor paper which we have called Agave Watercolor 290 GSM.
Sounds fantastic. So it's a very forgiving plant, which is easy to handle, then you say, because it doesn't need much water.
Exactly.
It's quite sustainable in that sense as well.
Yes.
I only know agave or agave from actually drinking liquids, I think. You can drink it as well, right?
You can
so
drink
for
it
me,
as well.
it's new to hear about agave being used in paper. That's amazing. So we've heard about the first product that you're launching, and there's a second one also. Would you like to tell us about the second one?
When we were searching for different sustainable fibers, it was very easy to also came across the hemp plant. Hemp is now more and more considered to be the most sustainable plant of the future. It is also one of the oldest plants that we have. About 12,000 years ago, it was already used in China and Persia, and again, because of the very tough and strong fibers, people were able to do a lot of things out of it, like fabrics, textiles, ropes, yarns, sailcloths, and so on. The seeds were eaten, and also it was used for medical treatment. And when we did our research for the hemp fiber, we found out that, again, in combination with cotton rag, that we were able to produce a beautiful sketch paper, which is our sketch 80%, 80 GSM, a really beautiful sketch paper that we now also have as a family member in our natural line.
That sounds fantastic. So it's a very forgiving product again, yet hemp, great fiber, very strong. In fact, also Anne-Christine, what me being an amateur in this business, what would I need to know about hemp that is special perhaps about hemp and the fibers and the textures perhaps? Could you talk about the hemp a little more?
The hemp, I have to say, Rana is, as the product manager,
the specialist.
Is the best specialist to talk about. But I would like to talk a little bit with Rana about the surface structure on agave and on hemp as well, because this is really, really special. Starting with the agave, it's a very lovely, homogeneous surface. But Rana, maybe you can tell a little bit more.
Yes, I'd love to. When we developed this paper, it was quite obvious for us that we would love to make a cold-pressed surface texture for that. Cold press means that the surface is not too rough, it's not too hot-pressed, it's something in between. It is an all-rounder. You can do a lot on this paper. You can lift off colors again. The colors are very brilliant, although the paper color is quite off-white. It's a kind of natural white paper. And as the fibers that we have used are strong on the one hand with agave and smooth with cotton on the other hand, this also reflects on the paper. So this is a paper which you can use for many different watercolor painting techniques.
Amazing. So very special fiber. Newly launched right here, right now, so very exciting. And so that was the Agave version, new, and you have one of the pads that you're holding there. So different sizes and pads, different qualities as well, or is it always the same thickness, the same fiber, the same haptic, or does it change?
This Agave watercolor paper we offer in 290 GSM with this special surface texture, but in different sizes. We have many sizes. We have 24 by 32, 30 by 40, 36 by 48. We do have Dean sizes, and what we also have is this tiny little pad if you want to do just some creative stuff at home very quickly and you don't want to do a big painting. You can just use this small tiny pad to make some try.
So fantastic. You have basically anything, the heart of any artist would probably desire, you can offer. So all sizes available. So, and they're available from now, today? Is it really you launching today and we can get those products right now online, or how can we do that?
They are available now. So this is launching day and we are happy to launch it today, and now it's available. You can buy it anywhere, hopefully then.
Super exciting. And Anne-Christine, is there anything, I want to get you a little bit more talking with us about the hemp launch that the hemp products that we have also here. What do I need to know about it? I mean, do you guys need to tell me something as a person that is maybe creative but not an artist?
So the very nice thing about these papers, agave and hemp as well, is that we are in deep conversation with artists all over the world in order to get to know what are their needs, what are their insights. And as we learn a lot what people are trying, what people are playing around with the paper, it is just fantastic that we are able to launch it today. The Agave is a very, very nice surface, very nice color, like Rana already said. The Hemp sketch paper has a very nice grain, very soft and very subtle, but still toothy, so that you can mix around with many different techniques when drawing with pencils.
Fantastic. Yeah, really nice. So you're holding what in your hand? What size? What is that pad exactly?
This is the Hemp sketch in A5. Hemp sketch is suitable for all dry painting techniques. As Anne-Christine has already mentioned, it's a paper which is suitable for any kind of dry painting, like pencils, colored pencils, charcoal, red chalk, but you can also make ballpoint paintings on it. The important part here is that the surface needs to be toothy so that the pigments of the pencils stuck on the paper, and you can make beautiful paintings on that sketch paper.
Really amazing, and also like what I am wondering about, because I mean we're in our nature set. This is part of the natural line that you guys are launching. It's sustainable, and I mean, what can you tell us about the sustainability part of these new products? In fact, that's what I'd like to know. Rana or Anne-Christine.
So Hahnemühle has ever been producing directly within the nature, basically. So we are located in Lower Saxony in Dassel, Germany, and yeah, basically in the foot, near the foot of the Solling mountain. So what we have been doing since 1584 is using purest fibers, purest water directly from the spring. And we are always trying to find new fibers that are sustainable in order to make us even better. And yeah, we found Agave and Hemp, which just offers outstanding artist supplies. And yeah, it all basically began with a new natural line with bamboo. Bamboo we have, yeah, I think since 10 years nearly in our portfolio. And we decided, as we have this new natural line now coming up, to have a relaunch of our bamboo products as well. The great thing about bamboo is that the fiber can use or can just hold so much water. You can really play around with it. We have bamboo, as you might know already, in mixed media and hemp. Rana, tell us a little bit about the bamboo.
Yes, as you've mentioned, we have developed bamboo several years ago already. It was, I think, in 2008. And it was very important for us ever since to use sustainable fibers. And the bamboo is one of our best-selling items, and we are really happy to make this family big with the Agave watercolor and Hemp sketch. And bamboo mixed media is suitable for different painting techniques, because mixed media means you can use it for watercolor, for acrylic, for gouache. You can also use it for pastel or for fine liners and things like that. And on the other hand, we also have bamboo sketch, again a sketch paper, which is suitable for many dry painting techniques such as pens, colored pencils, and so on. So we have these 4 beautiful products within this natural line. Sustainable fibers, all are acid-free, all papers are vegan, which is very important to us as well. And yeah, really happy to be here to present this.
Wow, so that sounds really exciting. I mean, I'm like, you know, I'm not an artist, but I do feel creative sometimes, and it makes me want to try and use these papers. Also, bamboo, when you said it takes a lot of liquid, that's interesting to me. So every paper reacts differently, but the point is it's vegan, it's sustainable, and it's just a really well thought out product and a great DNA. So I've already, here you can see everything that you've launched or relaunched, the bamboo as well, and the different techniques you can use on them, and also the different sizes. So you have all the varieties. It's really fantastic. And I did already teaser a little bit about our special guest being here today. He's already painting away behind us here. You see him in the picture. Hi, Marvin. How are you today? What are you up to?
Hi, Danny. Thank you for having me here. Yeah, I'm fine. And I'm trying out right now that new Agave papers. And yeah.
What do you think about the texture, for example? It looks beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. So the texture is like, yeah, it's a typical cold press satin surface. So I like it because I'm doing the most time that sketches here, and I do it layer for layer, and I don't need rough paper here.
So it's quite smooth.
Yes, it's very smooth, and it works great for layering that sketches, working with shadows.
So you do sketching, but I also see, like, is that the watercolor? Is that also Agave for that, the house?
That is Agave here. Like these samples, my wife and I, we tried the last days a lot of things, like this one. So you can make big pictures with it, small little ones.
So sehr schön. Da kann man mal, then we can zoom into your pictures right there.
Yeah.
Just hang on and just show us. That looks beautiful.
That's
so
from my wife. I have to tell this. It's from my wife. She's the main artist in our family.
And she loves ladybirds.
Yes.
I love ladybugs. I have a ladybug tattoo inside her.
Great.
Beautiful. Very impressive, actually. So, what are your impressions of, like, the different textures of the new line? What do you love about them? And yeah, what's your?
So the Agave is perfect for sketching with watercolor. I really like that because I already told the surface is great. The Hemp paper is also great because it's very thin, and I wasn't really expecting that I can draw with watercolor on it. So this is also a little sketch and with liquid coracal. So
it's beautiful. Wow.
and it works. So I can work with a lot of water on this paper. That impressed me really, because
Okay.
you see it.
It's quite really thin and light. Yeah. Nevertheless.
Yeah, it's really thin, and yes. So I like the new products because I can do everything like before and have a better feeling for
Have
it.
a better feeling, and that's what artistry is about. It's emotional, it's passion, and when you feel good about something, I think you might just produce better art. No,
Yeah.
yeah. If you feel
think
good,
so.
I mean, you can translate that into your art. So, what do you, in general, think about Hahnemühle and their products? I mean, the DNA, it's magnificent. They've been around for 437 years. It's like, it's amazing, really. What do you think? What comes to mind when you think about the company?
So when I'm thinking about Hahnemühle, I think about quality in the first point. The second one is what I really like. You have a completely price range from the low to the high price level.
Yeah.
For everyone, from beginner to expert, and that's a great thing. I really can say, okay, I try smaller papers, bigger papers, and I have always the same quality, and I can make images that are pictures that are great. So they are looking great because the paper gives the color, the saturation that it needs, and yeah.
So it serves you perfect as an artist, and also the variety of products that you like to use, different
Yeah.
colors, different mechanics. You
Right.
basically have all the means and all the needs.
Correct.
Okay, that's great. And you already answered that, actually. I have another question here, which is like, favorite surface for watercolor was the Agave, right?
Yes, like the cold press.
The cold
yes.
press.
So,
Cold pressed.
The most times we are working with cold press, the selection series from Hahnemühle, so the 100% cotton, and this is a really good alternative for that. So for me, it's a good alternative. Yeah.
Well, as far as I can judge, just being a creative, not an artist, beautiful work you've done. A great variety. The octopus is fantastic as well. Like, you want to show that to camera? Oh, I just took it. You took it out. He was just on there. Let me just show that again. That is so beautiful. Look. I mean, the details and the depth on the painting are just amazing. Here, let me show that to the
It works.
camera here.
Another great thing for the paper is, so we all know this. You have some little accidents sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the best thing is really we can take a brush and take off the color again without struggling. Oh, there's too much for it. So that's really great. So little accidents are no problem anymore.
That's good. Good to know. Great. Thank you
really
so much
great.
for insights. Right, you know, you're in the whole theme. You're an artist. First-hand insights. Great to get from you with these newly launched papers, which is amazing. So we've learned a lot about the natural line, but that's not all. You have something yet again new. So tell us more, Anna and Christine.
One just thing I want to say. These kind of love letters from artists to us is just why our job is so much fun.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
We can produce the paper artist really wants and needs, and we can help transforming their ideas into the actual artwork. So thank you very much.
Thanks. Yeah.
But yes, we have something more in the pipeline, exactly. We have launched something, a year ago, which many customers were asking for, especially urban sketchers are using it and loving it. And now we have something new for these artists. Rana.
Yes, about a year ago, we have launched the toned watercolor books. The toned watercolor books are books with toned paper inside, with gray paper on the one hand and beige paper on the other hand. The important part here is that the watercolor the paper is toned, so the artist has already a background color that he can paint on directly. The demand and the feedback that we got for these books were really huge. And right after the launch of these books, we got many feedback from artists, from customers, but also within our company. We were thinking about it to extend this line with toned watercolor pads. And this is what we will launch today. We have the papers that are in the books now also in pads, in beige and in gray. It's exactly the same paper that we have in the books, now also in the pads. We offer them in A5, in A4, and also in the popular size of 20 by 20 centimeters. It's a square size. Very popular these days. Many people like to paint on square size papers. And yes, we are really very happy that the feedback was so huge and this watercolor paper so sought after that we have now launched the pads for that as well.
Fantastic. So after a big success in 2020 with the books of the toned watercolor having been launched, you decided, hey, you know what, we're going to take it up a notch and yet again come out with new products, which are the pads in toned watercolors in beige and gray, and you have all different sizes yet again for artists to serve exactly their needs. That's fantastic. So you've talked about that looks really fantastic. Is it actually matte? What's the fiber in that? What are the fibers? It feels really nice texture actually.
The texture is a cold press texture again, and in the books it is also very important that the texture is identical on both sides, so that when the artist paints in the book, most artists also like to paint using the whole width of the book. So it's very important that the texture is identical on both sides. It's a cold pressed, very homogeneous surface texture. It's surface sized. Surface sizing means that you can lift off colors very easily. You can use masking fluids, or it is very eraser resistant as well. So a very robust paper for this kind of painting technique.
And Christine, what else should I be asking, or what should you be asking regarding these new pads? I mean, I, for example, am wondering, how do you get the color into the paper? Is that a question I should be asking, maybe?
It is.
It's a very good question, actually, because many different papers, as you can see, have different tones, different shades of white, and something is a little bit more yellowish or creamy, something is very pure white, and for the toned and watercolor, or the toned pads and toned watercolor books, we have really wonderful pigments that really are light fast, so the colors won't fade. And these natural pigments are high quality, and you can be sure nothing will happen ever to your paintings. Another nice thing Rana mentioned, I think we can't stress it enough, is that the front of the paper and the back side of the paper is really homogeneous. So you have the same structure, and you can, this is how you can just create wonderful landscape or skyscraper images as well.
And maybe I missed it, but like the watercolor toned pads, what are they actually made out of? Is it also part of the new launched Agave, Hemp, or bamboo? Is it also part of that?
Well, most of our papers are made of cellulose.
Okay.
Some of them are made of cotton, but the cellulose that we are using are certified. So they are FSC or PEFC certified, which means that they come from certified forestry. So the cellulose that we are using, we are sometimes combining them with cotton. Sometimes we produce paper out of cotton 100%. It depends on what we want to achieve with these papers, if they should be suitable for watercolor, for sketch, for pastel, for oil or acrylic. It depends on that. So we use different kind of raw materials, and yes, nowadays also try to widen the raw materials with sustainable fibers as well.
Okay, so what I got was that it's cellulose and cotton in the watercolor tone. Very nice. And do I also have like different thickness or different, would you say in weight, or is it just different sizes? How do you?
We offer papers from 80 GSM up to 640 GSM,
Okay, wow.
which is really a wide range of papers that we are offering in the Hahnemühle range. This special paper, the toned, they have 200 GSM.
Wow.
Perfectly suitable for watercolor painting. And yes, so many ranges of different grammages, sizes, and surfaces. So many things.
This way, I would say like a professional would find exactly what their heart desires. An amateur, a hobbyist, teachers, kids at school,
Yes.
anybody would find whatever they desired for
That's
their
true.
work. So that's exactly what we want. So that's amazing.
Yes.
So this has been really exciting because, you know, the new products are amazing, sustainable, vegan, super high quality. It's very impressive to me, this new line, and it's very unique to the market, and it's just been launched with you watching live right here, right now. I mean, I get goosebumps. I'm really excited about this, no? Well done, girls. And thank you also, Marvin. Beautiful art. So have you actually used the new toned watercolor paper?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. You know.
I'm loving the toned watercolor papers. Really.
Is that a toned? Here,
Is
right
that
there.
a
Oh, let's
toned?
show that. Let's show that. Let me see which camera wants to see that one. Here.
That was an accident right now.
It's a beautiful accent to me, if you ask me.
It shows very good that the paper is extremely robust.
Robust, yeah.
Robust. I put color on it and go with a credit card and scratched on it,
Wow.
and everything is fine.
Wow,
So
it
that's
looks amazing.
pretty nice, and
Cool.
I love the color.
Uh-huh.
It's that vintage look, like a painting in an old smoky bar, you know. That's
It looks like
really
it's been
nice.
around, but it's not. It's new.
Yeah, it's new. And
Oh, that's the gray one there.
that's a
you've
grey
got.
one. I like
see that.
that noir scenes, so that's
Beautiful.
pretty great.
That looks really beautiful. What does it depict? What's on there? What did you paint?
It's an house sketch, a long house.
Is that with a window? I see a boulangerie, but that's just my creative mind
Yeah,
going someplace.
I'm not really sure what I want to tell you with that window. Maybe a toy shop. I'm not.
To me, it looks like baguettes, and it's a boulangerie. You
Okay,
see,
it's a boulangerie.
That's all in the artist's eye and in the creative to see. Wow, that's amazing as well. Look
Yeah.
at the colors there.
So that's a really good example for the toned watercolor, because the colors you put on it there, like that orange or that blue, it goes out of the paper.
It intensifies.
Yes.
It doesn't get matte. It really comes out and gets
Yeah.
super intensive. Yeah, the blue up here is amazing. And also like the orangey, that's really, really lovely. Yeah, beautiful stuff. So we've seen the toned watercolors live in action. Fantastic. The pads, also different sizes you used. I love this burger thing happening here. It kind of makes me hungry too.
Yeah.
So we've seen it firsthand used. For me, very exciting. Would you like to add anything?
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Again, it is so fantastic that we get first-hand insights, because otherwise we couldn't make these great products. And thanks again to Rana and the team to helping transferring ideas and just fantastic emotions on paper to an artwork. I want to mention one small little thing that we get asked frequently, absolutely frequently, how to detach papers from a block. This seems to be a real struggle for most artists, and we would just present you how it is best to detach a sheet in order not to destroy it.
Well, most of our watercolor pads, they are glued on all four sides. And so that there is a stability in the paper that you can directly paint on the pad. But when you want to detach it, to fix it on a board and then paint on it, or when you have your painting ready and you just want to take it out, you have one open space which is around here. And then we would recommend to use this bone folder. A bone folder, ours is made of 100% bamboo. So you simply go into this open spot, and then you just slide it around the corners, and you can detach the sheets very easily with this bamboo folder. Please don't use a knife, because knives might harm the paper. If you don't have such a bone folder or bamboo folder, use the reverse side of a spoon, for example, or your credit card or something like that. But don't use a knife. This might destroy the paper. But this is very easily done. So you just need this and nothing else.
Great. And have you had these bone folders in your assortment for a long time, or is this also part of the new line?
This kind of bone folder from bamboo is kind of brand new.
Brand new as well. Okay, hang on. Let me just show that to camera without shaking too much here. This is the new bone folder made from 100% bamboo, and this is how you detach your leaves in the pad properly. So I've just learned something new again. This is really smart. So if you haven't had the chance to order one, do so right now, because they're online and available right now. So I'm even more excited. So this is it for the new presentation and the launch of the natural line. Rana, Ann-Christine, this was amazing. You're fine. We've done it. You've done great. Everyone was really excited about this. Thank you, Marvin. And I've learned a lot, actually, so this was good for me, too. But do stay tuned, because we do have more sessions in the pipeline. And also Rana and Ann-Christine, they're going to be talking about the whole Hahnemühle, the DNA, the history. I mean, come on, it's been around for 437 years. That is quite rare and quite special. Make sure to join in and get more info, so do stay tuned. You can also chat if you have questions and answers. Feel free to join in. So thank you so much for joining in. And well, I'm going to say stay creative, stay happy, stay healthy. And we're going to say bye-bye for now, but do stay tuned, because there's a lot more coming up, and it's going to continue with great new product launch, and also more events online coming to you today and the next 3 days. Good that you were tuning in, and see you later.